Yo, what's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, and I'm sorry to do this to y'all, but this is one that I have to touch on, and this shit is gonna blow y'all. It's gonna blow a fucking gasket. It definitely blew a gasket on my behalf. Deontay Wilder says that Dillian Whyte has to blame himself for not getting a WBC title shot.
No, sir!
By now, we should all be aware that Dillian Whyte is unhappy with the WBC because they haven't enforced a mandatory
Come on.
for the fight with Deontay Wilder. In fact, the WBC isn't all that happy with Whyte either, with the way he has been throwing the sanctioning body under the bus. Whyte has been the WBC's #1 contender for quite a while.
600 days to be exact.
Continued to seek a shot at the champion, Deontay Wilder. Wilder says that Whyte only has himself to blame for the position he finds himself in. I told Dillian Whyte, I gave him two options. I told him to sign with the PBC and Al Haymon Premier Boxing Champions. When he came over here, network shopping, or whatever he was doing over here. So I told him, yeah, just sign with us. A one-fight deal, no problem. We'll get that fight on. We can get it on. I'll give you that shot. But that was one time, strike. Well, I'm gonna stop right there. Well, sir, you just walked right into that one, and I'm so glad you said that. Y'all remember this shit? Wilder declares himself a network-free agent, while Deontay Wilder has been appearing on Showtime for the majority of his career. The WBC World Heavyweight Champion has claimed he is not obligated to fight for the network. Wilder clarified this recently in an interview with The Boxing Voice following his potential opponent Tyson Fury signing a $103 million deal with Top Rank ESPN. Boom. For me, I think it's a great thing Wilder suggested. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It don't hurt the fight. If anything, it hurts the other competition, you know? With unbeaten and unified heavyweight titleist Anthony Joshua, with Fury signing with ESPN, and Joshua is with DAZN. Oh, okay. I hear you, Deontay. Well, what about this? Deontay Wilder turns down a 9-figure massive deal with DAZN. Wilder and his team met with DAZN executive chairman John Skipper in New York last Tuesday to discuss the deal that would have led to the showdown with the undisputed heavyweight world champion and the unified title holder Anthony Joshua. As long as Joshua and Wilder won their interim bouts, Wilder's 9th title offense, Brezeale, likely will take place on May 18th at the Barclays Center, and Joshua will fight in the United States on his 7th defense against Jarrell Big Baby Miller on June 1st at Madison Square Garden in New York. DAZN offered Wilder 2 versions of the deal from which he could pick. 2 sources with knowledge of the offers told ESPN. One deal, the sources said, was for 3 fights worth $100 million. The first fight would have been a $20 million payday to fight Brezeale this spring, which is way over the market value for that level of fight. Boom. Wilder was guaranteed $10 million for $40 million to fight Joshua in the fall for undisputed title, with the third fight being an immediate rematch with Joshua for another $40 million. Even if Wilder, in the worst case scenario, had gotten knocked out even in the first round of the first fight by Joshua. Yep. 29 of England. The second version of the offer, one of the sources said, would have paid Wilder $20 million to fight Brezeale, $40 million for the Joshua fight, and $20 million for a fight against another opponent to be determined, followed by another $40 million for a rematch with Joshua in the 4th fight. Yeah. In addition, one of the sources said the first fight with Joshua was guaranteed to be in the United States, with DAZN willing to have a second fight in Joshua's native United Kingdom. Even though the time zones would have put the live stream of the fight on in the late afternoon, instead closer to 11:30 Eastern Time, which is when most major fights go off for the United States broadcast. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the article. The next strike came when Wilder said he told Dillian Whyte to face Luis Ortiz, giving him his word that if he did, and he would fight Whyte afterwards. Wilder emphasized that he's a man of his word, but that Whyte passed on that opportunity as well. Wilder continued saying that the WBC then ordered Whyte to face Ortiz in a title eliminator match Another fight Whyte declined, strike 3, says Wilder. And finally, Wilder says the strike 4 came when he told Matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn that he would fight Whyte if he is guaranteed a fight with Anthony Joshua immediately after. That obviously didn't happen either. I don't want people to feel sorry for him. I really don't. I know I came out and said that it's a shame what's going on, but it's a shame what's been going on because of his own actions.
No,
pointed out by the undefeated puncher. I want to clear that up. It's because of his own actions.
No,
he allowed himself to not have this opportunity because he's had 3 times. Really, 4.
Move this man!
Man, I ain't gonna... Man, see, this is why I don't fuck with this nigga. This is exactly why I don't like this nigga. And I'm not gonna sit up here and let him spew out this bullshit and not have a comeback with the truth because the media is not gonna portray that. They're gonna give you little pieces to the puzzle and spread them bitches out around the world like a fucking Where's Waldo magazine and try to have you fucking seek that shit out. So I'm gonna put all of the pieces together just so y'all understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I heard what you said about that second strike. I already got on you about the first strike. But, you talking about Ortiz, right? You mean this?
I was talking Luis Ortiz. I offered to fight Luis Ortiz 3-4 years ago. I said to him, I'll fight you, but Wilder's going to agree that there's no second mandatory, there's no waiting 6 months, no waiting 1 year. You fight me next. No one else apart from me. And Wilder go, oh, I ain't signing that. Boom! And then he also said to me, private message, oh, I'm going to make you wait 2 years. I'm like, why? You getting paid career high money.
Wilder text you that?
Yeah. I can show you the text.
Wow.
Like, I can show you the text.
You might have to show us. We from Brooklyn.
Show us.
You're gonna have to show our fans in the zone this text from Wilder.
Yeah, we'll give him some time.
We ain't gonna look at your password.
Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah.
I had a fingerprint. I'm gonna show you guys, cause there you go.
Tell your promoters to give me what I want. Get it on easy. Because honestly, I don't have to do anything for at least 2 years. Wow.
See, the problem I have with this shit is these motherfuckers, man, they always telling lies, man. They always telling lies. And the truth is right in front of your face. And obviously, we already know this guy isn't intelligent. And that's why Shelly Smithers-Finkel, and this is why I call her Shelly Smithers-Finkel, because the motherfucker look like Mr. Smithers, man. Look. Man, I don't make this shit up, man. I spray him when I see him and call it how I see it. That's a fact. Like, I don't know why y'all let this nigga go out in public without his handler, man. I just saw it, boss. You know, I should have thought about what I said because, you know, I forgot I said I was a free agent. I forgot I said that I could go fight anywhere. And then I said, you know, Dillian Whyte can come over to the PBC. Now, the funny shit about that is, now, you trying to tell me that the way that the fight was supposed to get made is that Dillian Whyte was supposed to sign a 1-fight deal with the PBC. So what? You know what I'm saying? You trying to usher in, you know, top prospects because that was the only way you were going to ensure your big payday because Dominic Brezeale wasn't it. You're supposed to be a goddamn fighter and now you acting like you out here brokering deals. Well, I already exposed the fact that Dillian Whyte was willing to fight Luis Ortiz, but the fact that you weren't willing to sign down on a dotted line, and you said you weren't signing that, and the fact that you weren't going to come over to the zone, they gave you 2 different offers, and the reason you said you wasn't going to do it because you tried to say they were going to probably try to make you fight Dillian Whyte. Well, that wasn't true either because you had 2 options in the deal, and it wasn't never contingent on saying you were going to fight Dillian Whyte. But why shouldn't you? Isn't he the silver champion? #1 mandatory? So why does he have to jump through all of these hoops just to get to you when he should have been fighting you in the first place because he was the #1 mandatory, not Dominic Brezeale, you know, not Dominic Brezeale. So you're clearly ducking him, and then you got the nerve to throw out these fraudulent statements because, you know what I'm saying, you being butt-fucked by the PBC, the WBC, and everything to retain that title and to keep it. So, you know, you trying to keep your masses happy. I get it. Man, Deontay Wilder is the house Negro of boxing, man. That is a fact. Another thing, let's not act like Dillian Whyte has to be with the PBC for that fight to happen. He's the mandatory. He should be fighting you. You know, the only people, the only promoters, or the only rival promotional companies that don't come together is singular. It's the PBC because Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn and Matchroom / The Zone and Top Rank, they come together all the time. As a matter of fact, let me show you something. Lomachenko versus Crawler took place on April 12th at the Staples Center. Top Rank and The Zone. Wait. I'm not finished yet. Mo Hooker versus Jose Ramirez for the Unification WBC WBO bout. Wait. Y'all thought I was done?
No, sir.
Top Rank and The Zone are coming together again. Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum. Luke Campbell versus Vasily Lomachenko for the WBC belt.
Hooker Ramirez, 27th of July in Dallas. I'll start with you, Mo. It's the fight you wanted?
Yes. I mean, he's a world champion. He's not in the tournament. He's free right now. It's a good fight. I know it'll be a big test for me, a test for him. And we both want to prove the world who the best at 140. And I'm glad that he won the fight, and it was easy to make.
Same question to you. This is the fight you wanted, Mr. Ramirez against Mo?
Yeah, of course. I'm signed with Bob Arum, Top Rank, and I'm a franchise of the ESPN. So for me to go and step in a different territory, that should give you guys an answer on how much I wanted this fight. For me to come in his backyard. But it's a big fight for boxing, and like Mo said, it's a big fight for both of us. Because the fans get to catch us in our prime. You know what I mean? We're not waiting 5 years, 6 years. We're not marinating any fight. We're ready to fight. So that's the most important. That's the most important thing. I think the fans should respect the 140-pound division class right now, the way things are paying out. So I'm looking forward to it.
We don't get to see this often, but when the best do fight the best. But in your division, we've got two of the best here fighting each other. So that's what the fans want, like you said, Mo.
So, what the fuck are you talking about? Deontay Wilder, what the fuck are you talking about? Al Heyman, and this dude is very hard to find pictures of and find him out in public, might I add. You know what I'm saying? Plays the very background very well. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman and guys like Deontay Wilder are killing the sport as a boxer because Deontay Wilder is too fucking stupid to think for his dumb self with his idiotic ass that he's gonna follow everything that Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel say, even though it took 9 figures out of his pocket, and he ain't never gonna see that. Who he gonna see it from if it don't come from Anthony Joshua? He'll never touch it. He will never see it. And all this talk about selling your soul, well, you selling your soul right now, sucking Al Heyman cock doing all of the dirty work for the PBC, and they holding you back. And you want to know why they holding you back? Because they don't believe in you. And obviously you don't believe in yourself, Mr. Free Agent. I'm gonna take my own career in my own hands, and you have yet to do that. You've only done what people have allowed you to do. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know what I mean? It's just like if you lead a stroller with the seatbelt unbuckled and you just jump out and, you know what I'm saying, start running around rambling. That's basically what you're doing in the media. It's like the baby done grabbed the mic and he started speaking without his handlers. Now they going to put you back in line. That's exactly what's going to happen. Now I've showed you that Top Rank and the Zone / Matchroom promotions have come together 3 times in 1 year. 2 Lomachenko bouts. Fire. And now we about to get Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker a unification bout at 140 in their prime, and everybody knows that the super the 140 class is hot. It's hot right now. So the only problem is y'all. So y'all come up with these double standards and you don't even think about what you're saying out your mouth and how people are going to critique it. Cause I am. Them boys even said, Ramirez and Hooker said, why can't you come together and co-promote and get a bout done? We fighting in our prime, not 5, 6, 7 years down the road. And I'm sure they talking about Anthony Joshua and they talking about Deontay Wilder. You see what happened when a fight marinates. Shit like this can happen and it screws a fight all the way up. But the thing is, I don't even think that it even mattered because, you know what I'm saying, the difference between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder is Anthony Joshua fights dogs. So he always was standing on, you know what I'm saying, death's door in the boxing world when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, catching the L. Deontay Wilder, they spoon feed him freaking cab drivers and bin men, like Anthony Joshua says. So, you know, his, you know what I mean, W's are protected. And now the fight has basically lost his luster. Now people don't want to see it. Anthony Joshua's going to continue to make that money. But what about Deontay? And y'all know how the whole world is begging for this. Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence, even though I know Terrence Bud Crawford will wash Errol Spence, and I want the world to be able to see it, but Al Heyman isn't allowing that to happen. Do y'all remember when Errol Spence said, if Terrence Bud Crawford wants to make that fight, he needs to come to this side of the street, meaning he needs to join PBC. So he's got all of these African Americans who think they free, working for the black man who got them with this house Negro mentality, who got them more enslaved with the PBC than they would have freedoms with the Zone and other fighters. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they doing. And oh, that almost made me forget. Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn gave us Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan on April 20th. So that's 4 times off the rip that I can mention. 4 straight banging fights, because the big fights have to happen. The fans need to see it, and that's why when you look at all of your favorite fighters, they only got 10,000 views, 20,000 views on YouTube, which is the second biggest search engine behind Google. 40,000. Canelo and Anthony Joshua are the only ones who really get over 100K like that. Let's be honest. So it takes bloggers like me and the rest of the world, and even the LDBC shady ass, you know what I'm saying, to kind of usher the popularity of boxing. But the thing about it is, if you lying and you ain't keeping it 100, as fans, we will never get the fights that we rightfully deserve to see, and the fights that Dillian Whyte rightfully deserves to have as a WBC Silver Champion. And it states in the WBC handbook that the Silver Champion automatically is #1, and he gets the next mandatory shot with Deontay Wilder. But because Al Heyman has such good rapport with Mauricio Suleiman and they little step aside money and all of the crap they got with their little corrupt asses, you know, Deontay Wilder can just slip, slide, electric slide, you know what I'm saying, Millie rock his way, you know what I'm saying, out of harm's way, and even get in the ring with some dogs. We're not getting this fight because of, you know what I'm saying, Heyman's all black experience, Deontay Wilder's cowardice bullshit, and the fact that, you know, the only people willing to co-promote is Top Ranking DAZN. Thank God Top Ranking DAZN is still around, and I ain't the biggest, I'm not the most fond of Bob Arum, but damn, he makes shit happen. Him and Eddie Hearn make shit happen, because when the big fight needs to happen, they make it happen. So what's going on, Heyman? You know what I mean? You're supposed to be an advisor, right? Well, you're not doing a very good job of advising. All you're doing is trying to make a monopoly, hoping that you will get all of the belts and keep them in-house and keep a PBC rotation. So what Deontay Wilder was basically saying was he would only fight Dillian Whyte on a PBC 1-fight contract, then he could go back to Eddie Hearn, because if anything happened and he lost that fight, Al Heyman wants to keep that heavyweight title in-house so he has the chance to keep it on his stable. That's all it boils down to. Man, it's some fuck shit. I debunked all the lies. I'm 17 minutes into it. As we always say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. And this is your fearless leader with the unfiltered filter. This your man, 3K the Boss, AKA Mr. Two Hands Up. You know what it is. And hey, if ain't nobody else gonna speak the truth, y'all already know I'ma pop that shit, because like I said, I spray them when I see them, and I call it how I see it. Facts though. Respect.
What's happening in boxing? All the other promoters are cooperating with each other. This match wouldn't have happened without Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Frank will tell you that. They cooperated with us. We're doing another fight down the line with a fighter named Brezeale, 130-pound champion, against Oscar De La Hoya's fighter, Francisco Vargas. The only promoter in the world that will not allow his fighters to fight anybody else is Al Heyman and PBC. So don't say that promoters, you know, won't make fights, that promoters protect their fighters. There is one culprit and one culprit only in boxing, and that's Al Heyman and PBC. And if he wants to stick his people in this really small bundle that he has, fighting each other, not fighting, he's entitled to do it, but he's hurting the sport of boxing.